Well, good morning on this fine Saturday morning. Hope everything's going well. We going to be working today, still trying to get the main auditorium semi ready. It's not going to be finished by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm sure hoping you can come out Sunday anyway and be a part of the service if you can. Understand that. Understand the need to just be safe. Took one of our senior saints to the bank today, and they want to come to church, but just not sure it's wise right now. And I said, that's what you need to do. You need to be safe. You need to take care of yourself, and so I'm all for that. Apologize again for the sort of the glare that's in my glasses, but I can't see much without them, so I have to wear them, and I apologize for that. But of course, Sunday, 11 o'clock, come on out. I really want you to be there if you can, and look forward to it. There'll be, if you need anything, there'll be quite a few or several of us that'll be around the church tomorrow, trying to get things ready. We're there today, a little weary tonight from it, trying to get this devotion out, and it's going to be a very short one actually, but I think it's important one. And it picks up in verse 5 of Psalm 13. And here's what it says. It says, "But I have trusted in thy mercy. My heart shall rejoice in thy salvation. I will sing unto the Lord, because he hath dealt bountifully with me." Now, we've dealt with this word bountifully before, and we know it kind of means to mature, to ripen, to grow them. And he says that's what he's done with me. Now, these two verses, they're pretty self-explanatory, really. The salvation it's talking about. I've trusted in thy mercy. My heart shall rejoice in thy salvation. Now, I believe because of the context, it's surely, yes, he'll rejoice in his eternal salvation, but he's also his preservation, his salvation in this life. That God has preserved him in some of the things he's gone through. But the key tonight, and this short lesson we're going to do tonight, the key tonight is what was the environment in which this was being spoken. And here's what you have to do. You got to look back and begin at verse 1. And listen to what's going on in verse 1. Now, I remind you what he says. He's going to say, "But I've trusted in thy mercy. My heart shall rejoice in thy salvation. I will sing unto the Lord, because he has dealt bountifully with me." Let's see what's going on in his life leading up to this. Verse 1 says, "How long wilt thou forget me, O Lord?" He's feeling like the Lord's turned his back on him. Now, I believe this is, again, one of those Psalms that's kind of dealing with maybe some sin that he's having to recover from. Maybe just going through the battles, maybe running here and trying to escape those who are trying to kill him. But how long will thou forget me, O Lord? Forever? I mean, he's pretty discouraged. He's pretty depressed. You ever been discouraged? You ever really, let's just be honest, you ever kind of fought depression? I don't mean, suicidal depression. But I'm talking about those moments of depression, those moments of intense discouragement, that those moments where it just feels almost overwhelming with hopelessness. Look, I know, I was taught for years and years, you got to be real careful what you tell your people. But, I've had those moments. I've had those times where just, I've been brokenhearted. I've been full of sorrow. I've been very discouraged, maybe by the actions of people, maybe by the reactions of people, maybe by my own actions and reactions. Have just greatly discouraged me, and discouragement is a term that it's a vehicle to depression. If discouragement's not cared for, if it's not resolved, it's going to lead us to depression. And so he says, forever? That's pretty discouraging time right now. You think you're going to leave? Lord, you're going to abandon me forever? How long wilt thou hide thy face from me? You know, he's going out and he's praying, and it feels like it's bouncing off the ceiling. It feels like nothing's happening. There's nothing coming. And he's saying, how long are you going to hide from me? How long shall I take counsel in my soul, having sorrow in my heart daily? You see, this is not a discouragement that was for an hour or a moment. It was discouragement that seemed like every morning it was still there. Every moment, every day, it wasn't going away. It was there. And there's nothing more oppressive. Most of us, most men anyway, tell me I got to go fight a battle. Tell me that I can just go in and get involved and fight it, but don't tell me I'm just going to be beat down with this oppressive discouragement that has no flesh for me to battle. There's nothing there. I can't fight it. I don't know how to fight it. And that's where he is right now. Now, we're going to get an answer here in a second, so don't get too discouraged right now. We'll get an answer. But he says, how long shall mine enemy be exalted over me? Now, the truth is, I think he's talking about physical enemy, but a greater enemy. The greater enemy is this enemy of fear and discouragement. His enemy is his own heart and his own mind. He says, consider and hear me, O Lord my God. Lighten my eyes, lest I sleep the sleep of death. He said, now, this is a very, very discouraged man. I just read before coming here, there's another pastor, at least he was a pastor. He just recently resigned as a pastor, and he'd had some trouble, some little issues, but he'd spent like 2 years getting his life right, and he was still trying to serve in the ministry, and he committed suicide. And this is just today, or it probably happened yesterday. I didn't really read everything about it. It wasn't somebody I knew. It was in a little bit different branch of Christianity or the church, and so I really didn't know him, but it was just maybe less than a year ago, another what they call mega church pastor that had been counseling a lot of people with depression and things, and he himself took his own life. Now, this is two men, and both these men were relatively young. They appear to be maybe in their early 30s, maybe late 30s. I don't know. Now, these is pretty discouraging people, and it's very easy to, truthfully, working with people. It can get discouraging, and it's most discouraging when either the people you've worked with the most turn on you, or the people that you love the most misunderstand you, and again, just maybe are upset with you. It becomes extremely discouraging. That's why pastors struggle. I've been so blessed at Calvary because my goodness, I just people, and I still say this, but people say, "Man, do you enjoy pastoring?" I said, "I don't know if I enjoy pastoring, but I know I love pastoring this group of people because I travel. I've been in. This is no exaggeration. I've literally been in hundreds of churches, and I'll be honest with you. I've talked to a lot of guys that are fighting a lot of battles, and a lot of issues, and a lot of just almost Sunday after Sunday, having to deal with this personality, that personality, this situation. I've been here 4 years, And maybe the honeymoon's just lasted 4 years, but I've been here 4 years, and it's been so minimal. Uh, any kind of issues at all. It just the people have been so sweet, so good, and I want to commend you for that. You've made my life a joy that I didn't have to live under the stress and pressure and discouragement and even depression. I've been able to escape that. He didn't. And he said, "Consider and hear me, O Lord. Lighten my eyes, lest I sleep the sleep of death." Was he talking about the fact of taking his own life? Was he talking about the fact that if you don't protect me, they're going to take my life? I'm not sure, but I know he's very discouraged. He said, "Lest mine enemies say, I have prevailed against him, and those that trouble me rejoice when I am moved." Now, again, they would say prevailed against him. If he took his own life, they prevailed. If they captured him and took him captive and took his life, they prevailed. And so, but here is the answer. This is when he says, after all of that negative and depressing and discouraging situation and feelings that are overwhelming his own heart, where he's pleading, "God, please look to me." Here's what he says. He says, "Even though I don't feel like you hear me, even though I feel like my prayers are bouncing off the ceiling, even though I'm overwhelmed with discouragement, even though I feel like I'm facing death in my own heart and mind," he says, "but I've trusted in that mercy." You know what we have to do? We have to go back and remind ourselves how good God is to us and how merciful he has been to us to get us to this point. The fact that I'm still able to live and breathe and give you this video, that's the mercy of God. So I got to thank him for that. I've trusted in that mercy. I have trusted in your mercy. I know that's the only reason I'm even where I am and even continuing today. My heart shall rejoice in thy salvation. He said, I'm going to make a decision. Instead of continuing to wallow in this pity, I'm going to rejoice. I'm going to rejoice because you preserved me physically to this point. I'm going to rejoice because eternally my salvation is secure. And then he says, I will sing. And can I just tell you, that's something you need to do. Just sing. I'm not a singer. But I go out and pray and I sing and I sing. And you've heard me, on some videos here that I sing. I will sing of the mercies of the Lord forever. I will sing. I will sing. And we'll just sing, and singing uplifts the heart. I will sing unto the Lord. And please, it's not singing unto me. It's not singing to perform. It's not singing, it's singing to the Lord. So it doesn't matter what your voice sounds like, you sing it to the Lord. And because he has dealt bountifully with me. And we talked about this word before. It kind of means ripen. It means to bring to fruition. It means to mature me, so to speak. And listen, what he's saying is, everything that I'm going through, you're using it to build me. Everything that I'm going through, you're using it to grow me. I know I'm going to be stronger because there probably was a time when if I didn't hear your voice, if I felt like my prayers were bouncing off the ceiling, if I felt like I wasn't getting through to you, if I felt like I was just forgotten out here, that I would have gone down into the depths of despair for maybe weeks and days. But I've grown. You know what I've grown? I've grown to the point where I just have to remind myself, I have to preach to myself, I have to build up my own spirit and say, wait a minute, I'm not going to feel that way. I'm going to stop right now. I have trusted in thy mercy. My heart shall rejoice in thy salvation. I will sing unto the Lord because he is doing he's through everything that I go through. He's just growing me. He's just ripening me. He's just getting me ready to be more useful for his cause. He's not forgotten. He's not forgotten you. He's not forgotten me. And be honest with you, I'm human. I fight my moments of discouragement. I'm just like you. And, maybe I have it even more than you do it. I don't know. But I know that He has grown me through it all to always bring me back to His Word so I can sing and I can praise and I can thank Him, and knowing that, praise God, He's just growing me through it all. And He has not left me, for He will never leave me nor forsake me. God bless you. Even took longer tonight than I thought it would, but I hope it be an encouragement to you. He's there. He is there to love you, to comfort you. God bless you. We love you. If you need me, call.